Sam, welcome to the Wilderness Survival Podcast. You've been up at Joshua teaching for 2 weeks now. So what is one thing that you hope that these Joshua students have learned or taken away from sitting under your teaching these past 2 weeks?
Well, thank you, Becca. I have enjoyed the students so much these past 2 weeks, focusing upon helping them to see the Bible as a strange book. I want them to come away from these past 2 weeks, and I think we've managed to achieve that, in having them look at the Bible as not something they've grown up with, that they're used to taking it to church, bringing it home, putting it on a desk. It's a normal book like every other book in the library. I want them to see it as a shocking book, so that when they open it up, it's not like deja vu, business as usual. I've been reading this since I was a kid. I know the stories of Jesus. I know the stories of Abraham. No, there are things that you have not seen. And over the past 2 weeks, I have tried to have the students look with new eyes and say, what is it that is in the text that I haven't seen before? And the reason that I can do this is because now that I'm in the last part of my life, I am still seeing things that I've never seen before. And I would like students in their 20s to have that same vision, that this is not a book that is a stagnant, printed copy of something that's going to be unchanging. No. As I grow, this book is going to grow with me. And so I want it to be revolutionary. Oh, see the book. What I like to say to the students is, I want you to be able to know what you see and not just see what you know. When you come to the text and you think, I already know it, you're just going to see what you know. But do you know what you see? Are you looking and realizing how utterly profound and mind-changing some of these things are? So that's what I hope the students walk away with, is a sense that this book is going to walk with them through the rest of their lives, and it's going to constantly be a source of horizon broadening and life-changing.
That's something you've helped to open my eyes to,
I
reading the
appreciate that,
Bible,
Becca.
sitting under your teaching. Yeah, all of those things you have so done in my life. And so I hope they're experiencing the same things
Oh,
too.
I appreciate you saying that, Becca.
No, seriously. Speaking of books, you're writing a book right now. Tell me about it. What's it on?
Oh, so I'm writing a commentary on the book of Joel. This is replacing the commentary that was written about 75 years ago by the German scholar Hans Walter Wolff. And in this series, it is there are two flagship commentary series in the United States. One is the Anchor Bible series out of Yale University, and the other is the Hermeneia series out of Harvard University. And so the Hermeneia series asked me to write the commentary on Joel. So I'm about halfway through, and I've got 150 pages written. I'm hoping that they will let me publish the whole thing.
Yeah. What has been something significant that you've taken away from reading or writing that commentary?
Yeah, so there have been some things that have always baffled me, unresolved problems. And this is the first time that I've gone as deep into any text in the Bible in my entire life. And there are a lot of what I consider to be questions that I just did not know the answer to, that now have become at least clear to me, and I think defensibly so. For example, the date of the book of Joel, I never could really figure out the date, but plunging deep into it, it looks to me like it's written probably in about the 4th century.
Wow. So you're even coming into further understanding.
Oh, exactly. I'm practicing what I preach.
Hey, that's good. Harder question for you, Sam.
Okay.
Maybe not so hard, but what is one thing that if more Christians knew, it would change the way that they read the Bible?
I find that an awareness of the different cultures that the Bible represents make all the difference in the world. And this actually feeds into the first comment that we made earlier. The Bible should be a strange book, especially if you keep in mind that the Old Testament was written 2,000 to 3,000 years ago in a culture which is completely foreign to us, in a language that we don't know. You talk about strange. And to the degree that you can acclimate to that culture, you're going to have a better grasp of what the Bible has to say. Same thing goes with the New Testament, written 2,000 years ago in a Greco-Roman culture that we're not familiar with, in a language, Greek, that we don't speak. So once again, if you can grasp that difference and then overcome that difference by becoming familiar with the culture in which it was written. In the case of the Old Testament, New Testament, you've got two different cultures you need to wrestle with. And these cultures, especially in the Old Testament, have transformed over a long period of time. So the early parts of the Old Testament are different from the later parts of the New Testament. So I hope that answers your question, that the one thing that I think it would be really important for Christians to know that would change the way they read the Bible is to be aware of these cultural differences.
Mm. Follow-up question to that. How do you think individuals can learn that cultural context best?
Yeah, great. The way that I closed off today's talk, for example, was one of the students asked the question. So we're reading the Bible and we have questions. What do we do? And I've tried to underscore that the single most important book after the Bible is a concordance. And with a concordance, you can look up a word and there's that English word. Does that English word actually mean 2,000 years ago what it means now? With a concordance, you can go through and you can see how the writers of the New Testament use that word, and you go, oh my goodness, they're using this in a different way than we're used to using this word. Words like loving kindness. I don't know if you're aware of the fact that loving kindness, think about it, loving kindness, that is a word that was actually made up 500 years ago because we didn't know how to translate this word chesed. The first translator of this in English, he didn't know how to translate it. So he said, loving kindness. And it was a guess. And the guess is a little bit far off, but we still use that word. And so with a concordance, you can go through and you go, oh, this doesn't mean, there's nothing loving about this. There's nothing kind about this. There's something else going on. So with a concordance, that's the first thing. And the second thing that would be important would be like a Bible dictionary, where you can look up something, and these Bible dictionaries, a quality Bible dictionary is going to be one where individuals who have immersed themselves in the culture have been asked to write a brief article on what that issue looks like 3,000 years ago, saving you all the time and agony. So concordance, Bible dictionary, those are the takeaways that make it accessible.
Really study the language of
Yeah.
what is the
Yeah.
Bible saying.
Mhm.
Huh. Good advice. I
Well,
need to
thank
take
you,
that.
Becca.
I need to take that. Uh, we are up at Hume Lake too, and I know we were talking a little bit earlier that Hume is a significant place for you.
Yeah.
Especially Meadow Ranch, where I got to work this past summer, and everything that entails. But yeah, what does Hume mean to you? What has been the significance in your life?
I'm glad you asked that question because I was even thinking about that this morning as I was walking up to Joshua, and I was stunned as I looked back over my life. There's no place on this planet that has had the impact that Hume Lake has had for me. What I mean by that, what stunned me, was that I have lived in a variety of places around the world. None of them do I consider a place that is like a magnetic north to me. But Hume is very much, I feel very much like a migratory bird. I am always coming back to Hume. The first time I came to Hume was when I was 5 years old, back in 1957. And I have come back to Hume year after year after year. There is no place on this planet that I go back to as frequently and as consistently as Hume Lake. And I thank God that that has been like a North Star for me. So I'm glad you asked that question.
Why do you think that is?
It began with my parents, wonderful Christian parents who brought me up to Hume Lake. And my dad invested in Hume Lake in terms of his life. His life commitment was Hume Lake, and he passed that on to me and my siblings. And it's the grace of God because it's been a constant nourishment for me throughout my life. I've been to many different churches and lived in lots of different places, but Hume Lake is the community to which I return as a migratory bird. That just really stunned me.
Hmm. So cool.
It
That's why
is.
you keep coming back.
Oh, well,
Keep
I'm
saying
grateful
yes.
that you asked me to come back. I mean, this is, to me, it's a gift.
Yeah.
It's a gift.
Joshua wouldn't be the same without you. Yeah. Well, Sam, as we wrap up, we have to talk about Turkey.
Turkey,
We
yes.
have to talk about our trip
We
back in
enjoyed that, didn't we,
April,
last year?
May. Oh, we had the best time.
I think I really got to know you better there.
Yes.
Yes, that was a delight.
Definitely. And we started a tradition centered around desserts.
Oh, we did.
Yes. Every day going and testing the desserts on a scale of 1 to 10.
Good.
It was important. It was something I looked forward to every day. We probably consumed way too much sugar, but it's okay. But every hotel, it kind of got a little bit better. And this was like 2 weeks of testing hundreds of desserts almost.
Very much so.
But
It seems to me like you remember this quite well. Yeah.
very vividly. But everything kind of came to a head at our last hotel.
Yeah.
Can you tell everyone what happened?
Oh, certainly. So we had a great time with the Joshua students, learning so much about, as what we were just talking about, the cultural background of the Bible, and being able to experience this for like a week and a half, going to all these places where Paul went and the early church grew up. And then, as you said, we would cap off each day with a little fine testing of our palates, right?
Yeah, I do remember all the sights and everything. I don't just remember the desserts.
No, I know. And it was really, I think you would agree with me that it was stunning that of all the hotels and of all the chefs that we experienced in Western Turkey over a period of a week and a half, it was stunning that it was the last night that we came across a dessert that was so good that we had to go to the chef. And we were able to say to him, we are experienced connoisseurs of fine Turkish desserts. And we
Can
went,
we call ourselves that?
well, after a week and a half, I think so. So, but we went to him and he was actually a little shocked because he didn't know why we were calling him out from the kitchen. And he might have thought that we were perhaps upset. Upset America is hard to please. And I think it was so wonderful that we were able to tell him that we had gone to so many places. And I wish I could remember the name of the dessert, because if you ever go back again, you're going to have to request it. But he was delighted. That was just a wonderful experience to make his day because he had made ours.
I have the picture.
Yeah.
The proof. That was the best dessert. That was the only 10.
So that's what's neat about Joshua, is that Joshua is a full-orbed experience. It's about getting right with Jesus and committing your life and saying, what is my life going to look like going forward that's different from what it was before? Developing new habits, but it's also enjoying the good gifts that God gives. And that's what makes Hume Lake just so wonderful.
So sweet.
Mm.
Well, Sam, thank you. Thanks for being on Joshua and imparting all of your wisdom onto us and
Oh,
all of the Joshua students.
I'm learning from you folks.
It goes both ways.
It goes both ways.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you, Beth.